Shinji, Kudo Daidojuku Shihan. Today's video is a summary of my previous posts and my theory of kata.
Kata is a very effective training method created for actual battles. At first glance, kata moves seems to be unnatural and irrational. However, it's unnatural, but actually it's extremely rational. If you train these unnatural moves to be natural, you'll have the advantage in the fight. Kata teaches so. The true purpose of kata training, especially Naihanchi, is to obtain power, speed, and stamina by recreating the quality of your movements. This is what I wanted to convey through a series of posts.
However, most of the people interpret kata as the thing for learning the combination technique of defense and counterattack. Yes, it's called Bunkai. But I'll say it clearly, I think that's a big mistake spread throughout the karate world.
When kata's bunkai is explained, it almost always has a different movement from kata itself, or some other movement is added. What is the need or benefit of having to learn techniques with such inaccurate and incomplete movement? Furthermore, such techniques can be mastered more efficiently by learning through yakusoku kumite.
In conclusion, when trying to interpret kata in Bunkai, kata is just what you need only when you cannot do yakusoku kumite. What's more, even if you practice it eagerly, you can only master inaccurate and incomplete movements, right? Is kata really such a cheesy and sloppy thing? I can never agree with such an opinion.
Again, kata was created for actual battles. So, if you don't do actual battles, I mean kumite, you cannot be verified whether or not you understand and be practicing kata correctly. Talking about kata without kumite is like talking about swimming without getting into the water. At the time, some people insist that kumite is not a real fight. Of course, that's true. However, trying to verify at street fights instead of kumite is not the right direction, and it's better to do even little than not do any verification at all. Let's swim in the pool if you are not allowed to swim in the sea. At the very least, there's more to learn than not getting into the water at all. And when you do kumite, various issues will come up. For example, your punch won't hit, or it's weak, or you can't punch when you get tired. In other words, it means lack of power, speed, and stamina. What would you do then? Many people try to find the solution out in physical training. Yes, it's one of correct answer, but its a method depends on use. Please notice another answer is in kata. If you practice right kata right way, you can get the abilities you need for kumite, and you'll be able to enjoy karate and fights longer period.
Yes, like me, who still enjoying kudo competition, even 57 years old. I wish you a happy karate life. Os.